Special Counsel Jack Smith has submitted a new criminal indictment against Donald Trump, related to the former president's federal case on election subversion. The updated indictment, filed on Tuesday, doesn't introduce any additional charges beyond the original felony counts issued by a grand jury in August 2023. Instead, it focuses more specifically on Trump's actions connected to allegations that he tried to stay in office after losing the 2020 election to President Joe Biden. Trump has previously pleaded not guilty to all related charges and has consistently argued that the Department of Justice is using the indictment as a form of election interference. Prosecutors indicated on Tuesday that they do not object to waiving Trump's arraignment on the new indictment. This development comes just before the August 30th deadline set by U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan for status reports on how the Supreme Court's ruling on immunity affects the case. A conference on the matter is scheduled for September 5th. The revised indictment follows the Supreme Court's July decision, which protected Trump from facing criminal charges for official acts during his presidency. Smith's office stated in a court filing that the new indictment was presented to a different grand jury and aligns with the Supreme Court's directives. Trump still faces 4 felony charges, including conspiracy to defraud the U.S., obstruction of an official proceeding to certify the 2020 election results, and conspiracy against the rights of voters to have their votes counted. Prosecutors argue that Trump's actions, including efforts to pressure former Vice President Mike Pence to block Congress from certifying the election results on January 6, 2021, were driven by political and personal motives. They highlighted that Pence was not only the vice president but also Trump's running mate at the time. The DOJ also noted that Trump's January 6 rally, which led to the storming of the U.S. Capitol by hundreds of his supporters, was privately funded and privately organized. They included several of Trump's posts on Twitter, now known as X, related to the rally, pointing out that Trump often used his social media account for personal purposes. One key difference between the 45-page indictment from last August and the 36-page revised indictment is the removal of allegations that Trump pressured the Justice Department between November 2020 and January 2021 to support his unfounded claims of a stolen election. The new indictment also omits references to co-conspirator 4, identified by the Associated Press, AP, as Jeffrey Clark, a former DOJ lawyer and Trump ally. Clark allegedly tried to use his role at the Justice Department to advance Trump's false claims of voter fraud after the 2020 election, according to witnesses who testified before the House January 6 committee. The other 5 co-conspirators named in the original indictment remain in the new charges. AP has identified them as former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani and former Trump attorneys John Eastman, Sidney Powell, and Kenneth Chesebro. The 6th co-conspirator is described as an unknown political consultant involved in Trump's fake elector scheme. The case is unlikely to go to trial before the 2024 presidential election on November 5.